What's happening, everybody? Time for another malt review. Today we are very, very excited to be doing a series from our very, very favorite distillery. We keep talking about how Springbank is our very favorite distillery, and we're going to do a series with three of the very most famous, very, very collectible, close to impossible to find, extremely expensive. So we bumped into these three at an auction. It's a miniature of three whiskeys that we really wanted to try. And I'm gonna go ahead and pour this first one here, and I'm gonna have Mike say a few words about what how special these whiskeys are right here. So before I pour this one, I'm just gonna show it to you guys. Right there, and Mike will say a few words about what we're doing here.
Perfect. So, yeah, as Norby said, we got extremely lucky because we've only seen the full-size bottles of these. They go for maybe 4,000 pounds, like 5,000 pounds with VAT, with VAT. And this comes in a little miniature box. This says there's only 56 of these boxes with all three. So all three were distilled 1966. They were bottled 1990. We're gonna try Cask 441 right now. And then there's 442 and 443. We'll try those in two consecutive videos after, two series. But basically, they have an 8-mile rule. All the ingredients that went into this whiskey, from the barley, obviously, the water, the coal that was used to heat the water for mashing, all the ingredients except, of course, the sherry casks from Spain, were grown or acquired within 8 miles of the distillery. So it's called local barley. It actually says a West Highland Scotch malt whiskey on the bottles, but this, I believe, might be, not sure, the first series release of the local barley 1990, but that's why it's so famous, it's so special. They said the coal mine where the coal came from has been closed for years, so even 1990, this can never be repeated. The little experiment they did to produce this whiskey, it's truly historical, this whiskey.
But by the way, as we started rambling on, we didn't even tell you guys exactly what it is. This is Springbank local barley, vintage 1966. All three of these are 1966. They're all 24 years old. This is cask 441, 442, and 443. So they're single casks, three different ones, all of them from 1966, all of them 24 years old. There's other local barleys that are from 1966 that are older, but these three being the most expensive and the most famous and most collectible, like I said in the beginning. So much reading we've done on the internet about these. We've also hung out with other people who have more experience in whiskey than we do, have told us about these, and so we've always been very excited about trying all three of them. But as you know, paying close to $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 to acquire a full bottle is not an easy thing to do. So when we were able to acquire all three of these at the same time, as you guys can imagine, we're ecstatic to try them, and we're going to try them with you guys. We've never had these whiskeys before, so bear with us if we get, pause a little bit and stuff like that. So this particular one is bottled at 60.7% alcohol, so just imagine that big, powerful whiskey right here. And without further ado, let's attack the nose. Well,
of course, Springbank. So cask strength, no chill filtering, no color added, all natural.
And that's with all Springbanks, as we like to say.
Oh my God.
It's a very, very nice, rich, dark mahogany color.
Rich, dark mahogany.
It's almost like red.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
It is. It's almost like brownish red.
Yeah.
Like a nice red ale.
Swirl it a little bit. Let's look at these legs.
Gorgeous.
All right, on the nose.
60.7%. Holy shit.
It's very thick and viscous on the nose. It's very heavy fruit jammy. So you can already tell, obviously it's at 60%. It's a very heavy fruit, and think just a lot of different fruity jams. Oof.
Oh my God. Oh, this reminds me so much of like Springbank 12-year 100 proof. The very heavily sherried, thick, like 57%. The alcohol is very thick, but once you get past it, it's almost musty, but in a great way. The sherry notes and there's actually honey mustard as well right away, and the fruity notes, they're so thick. It's almost like it's offensive. It just like shoots into your nose, but it's the most amazing qualities ever. It's wow.
It's like it's so perfumey. It's like a musky perfume. It's got some very thick aged balsamic vinaigrette.
Oh yeah.
Some cola. I really like with these Springbanks, you tend to get that vinegary cola flavor along with those fruits. It's got those dried fruits, the figs, the dates, cardamom, cinnamon. It's just, it's really nice. And I'm actually pretty surprised as we poured this how we're getting a lot right. I was very nervous that it needed to breathe for a good 20 minutes before, because I was thinking with the high alcohol it'd be closed up. But it's actually not. It's I'm getting a lot already right off the bat on the nose.
It's so complex, and it's already evolving a little, which tells me, like Narby's saying, not so much the alcohol level, but the more you let it breathe, it's just going to be an endless story of evolution. All the different notes and come back and everything like that. If
you guys ever get the chance, or if you already have tried some of the older famous sherry casks from Springbank in the 60s, they have this such a unique, different kind of sherry. We always use the cola and that vinaigrette. And if I didn't know what this was and you just handed it to me, I would for sure guess that it's Springbank. You could tell that it's Springbank for sure. And a lot of times I wouldn't know for sure, but this one you could tell.
Yeah, it's a good point. Like in many ways, to me, the older Macallan sherry casks have a distinct profile, and exactly like Narby's saying, when you have enough of the older Springbanks and the sherry casks they use, it definitely has a distinct character, and you can get that right away in a blind nosing.
Any other tasting notes you'd like to add? I would just say it's very like fruit jammy. It's got those yummy spices.
Cola.
A lot of cola, that aged vinaigrette. And that unique wood spice. Oh, it's really, really nice.
Oh yeah.
It's not offensive to dig your nose in there. It's 60% alcohol. You can tell it's a cask strength, but it's certainly not offensive to dig your nose right in there.
Oh my God.
Are you guys? Without further ado, we're gonna, without water, take a small sip without water first.
Sure, and also always try nosing different levels. It totally changes as well.
Wow. Oh. Ooh. Wow. Right off the bat, you're getting all those.
Oh my God. Holy mama.
All those rich, jammy flavors.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
Without any sacrifice. Meaning, if you've watched our other videos with the whiskeys we really, really like, a lot of times we say it's a little bit better on the nose. Tends to be a little bit better on the nose. Right off the bat, everything, all those rich, jammy fruits, all of it on the palate. All the dried fruits, all of it on the palate. The aged elements, the quality of the cask, the leather elements, the cola, that aged vinaigrette, even some sweet mustard, some honey, some aged honey, even a little vanilla, and some light oak spice. Certainly not, the cask hasn't put too much influence into this. You're still getting all those Springbanky flavors. Truly, truly amazing. And I just took one small sip. The finish is lingering. It's not dry or overly woody on the palate whatsoever. I thought it might be. I was a little worried it might be, but right off the bat, that was excellent. Truly, truly, truly amazing. Both on the nose so far, on the nose and palate, 100% equal.
That's the key. First of all, truly masterful cask selection. I'm sure all 3 casks, but especially this one. But that's the key. It says minimum it's only 24 years old. So the youngest whiskey's 24 years old.
It's a single cask.
Oh yeah.
So it's all 24 years old.
I almost get a little, like a tiny bit of overly drying. I'm more sensitive to that than Narby. But so if it were like 30 years old, 35 years old, it might be overdoing it. But right at this age, it's like they knew it's perfect. There's hardly any over drying at all. The right amount of wood spice that just adds so much to all the sherry notes, all the fruits and everything like that. It's almost perfect.
Mike, do you want a drop of water in yours?
Yes.
I do. Well, I put another drop of water in Mike's whiskey. I just did with mine. I want to add that I think it's about 7:30 p.m. here for us, and the only thing either one of us has had today is just coffee in the morning and water throughout the day. We wanted to have a very, very clean palate, so we just drank a lot of water throughout the day and didn't have anything else. That has an influence on how you experience whiskey too. When you are a little bit hungry, you have a clean palate, your senses are really there, you're really going to experience a little bit more on the palate, and that definitely adds to the experience. That's one thing we do, and I recommend you guys doing too. If you ever spoil yourself on an expensive bottle, try it that way. We're gonna try this again with probably about 3 to 4 drops of water in there.
So Narby said he was worried about the high alcohol. It wouldn't open up right away. And even though it seemed like it was opening up right away, try it with 3 drops of water. It just, all the alcohol clears off and it's completely open. And all those amazing flavors we're getting before, I'm getting them just so clearly, so obviously now, and even a bunch more. And it's just more complex, more intense notes of all the flavors you mentioned. To me, it gets a lot better with water.
It got really rich. I mean, I have a feeling that even if I didn't put the water, I just even leaving it out, it almost got thicker with water. You would think you would get thinner with water, but it actually just got, it almost, on the nose at least, it feels even that much denser and heavier.
Intense.
That much
rich.
more of that leather and just thickness.
Definitely try water with this.
I'm also, also experiencing some beef, some like barbecue beef.
It's
right?
getting into that now.
Yeah, like the barbecue sauce, balsamic. That's almost like tri-tip with a bunch of barbecue sauce over it.
Like barbecued meats, almost gamey, like steak, but then also a little bit gamey too. Yeah, and like you said, like some aged barbecue sauce.
Wow, this is unbelievable. I'm gonna take one more sip on the palate, and we'll conclude this review.
It's like when you have a really good sherry profile, like Macallan 25, say, where you're getting all those nice dried fruits, chocolate fudge. This is like all that plus every other possible note you can get from an aged quality sherry cask possible. Balsamic vinegar, barbecued meats, barbecue sauce, and all those fruits as well, all combined into one in a very complex fashion, but you can identify every single thing. It's pretty amazing. With
the little bit of water that I added, it actually got slightly drier, and this happens a lot with these sherried whiskeys. When I add a few drops of water, it actually brought some of that oakiness out a little bit more. A little bit more drying. It could just be that I have more of the whiskey in my mouth compared to last time, but beautifully in the background and ever so slightly releasing. You could definitely tell, like Mike said earlier, that they stopped aging this at the right time. Obviously, the master distiller tries it and says, no, this is ready to get bottled. If I leave it in there longer, the cask might start influencing it too much. And it seems to me, I wouldn't know for sure, but it seems to me like they bottled these at the right time.
Perfectly.
And the finish is ever so beautiful, rich and jammy, balsamic, cola, honey mustard, candied like sweet pineapple gummy bears, really, really yummy. Excellent. For me,
wow.
This is truly wow. I'm gonna give it a 96 out of 100.
I'm gonna give it 96 as well. It's that good.
Yeah, it's really yummy. We recently scored a whiskey with this high, and I actually had to going back to some of the other whiskeys. There's a lot of them we haven't reviewed yet. Some that I've scored 95, some that I've scored 96, and it's better than the 95s and equal to anything that I've given 96. So it deserves it. Springbank, local barley. If you guys don't know about Springbank, old Springbanks, you guys should really Google them. Again, this is Cask 441, 1966, 24 years old. Truly an amazing whiskey. We're going to spend probably another hour with the remaining of this. If our opinion changes in any way, we'll comment below on the video. But so far right now, a 96 for us for this whiskey. We'll see you guys soon, all right? Take care.
Epic. Take it easy, guys.